Weight training is not just for bodybuilders or athletes. It might be the biggest contributor to your overall quality of life, no matter who you are. YYSK. Being a member of various fitness online forums for years, I've noticed the prevailing misconception that gym training is just for looks or for professional athletes. I don't need big muscles. I don't like muscular bodies. Why do I need to be strong if I'm not going to be lifting 80 kilograms heavy things in real life? The fact is, your muscles are involved in pretty much everything you do in life, from sports to hobbies to sitting down on a toilet seat, but also your metabolism. There's also the fear, mostly among women, that they'll get too bulky with weight training. Don't worry, it takes a lot of time and dedication to get a significant amount of bulk. But even if you do get too bulky, the benefits far outweigh the supposed downsides you imagined in your head. Everybody may immensely benefit from some form of resistance training, especially as you get older. As you get older, your muscles will inevitably reduce. Having built a decent amount of muscle at a young age will put you at a higher starting point in old age when you inevitably start to decline. And being reasonably strong at old age will make it much easier to maintain a good level of strength for as long as possible, which will in turn allow you to maintain a higher quality of life as long as possible. Being strong might mean the difference between walking independently versus walking with a walker. Being able to ride a bike through town and not being able to go up the flight of stairs with relative ease in 10 seconds versus 60 seconds full of pain and/or significant physical exertion. Being able to walk safely versus being at a constant risk of falling due to lack of ability to support your own body. Many typical old age problems are a result of lack of strength. Also, muscles are involved in your metabolism. ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/PMC8041 as well, so they help maintain your health in other ways than just strength. Resistance training can significantly improve quality of life, especially in older age, and has also been shown to correlate in the reduction of all-cause mortality by a significant percentage. Start a strength training routine. At least an hour per week is already plenty enough for significant improvements if you're completely untrained. Healthline.com/health/fitness benefits of strength training. Generally speaking, the best solution to musculoskeletal pains is weight training. The large majority of chronic back pain is best treated by increasing the strength and flexibility of the back muscles in particular. And for anyone else, if you don't want someone changing your diapers for the last decade of your life, start doing squats now so you retain the thigh strength to get up and down out of a chair and onto a toilet. I remember reading a study decades ago that used back extensions to treat chronic low back pain, and it worked significantly better than drugs or surgery. Think of the implications there for all industrialized societies. Back pain is around the second most common reason to go to a primary care provider, and some almost no-cost basic exercise is probably the best treatment prevention. It didn't help mine at all, and I was guided by a professional PT, but it didn't hurt anything either. So do it. Why would I waste my time doing something tiring and unpleasant that doesn't help me? How do you know it didn't hurt anything? It made my mental health a lot worse to exhaust myself trying to reduce my pain and seeing no improvement or change. Because it does help you. Do you disagree with the headline OP fact that lifting is miraculous? Can you not read it? It didn't give me the thing that I wanted out of it. If you lift consistently, with adequate intensity, some say 80% of 1 RM, and with adequate food and sleep, you will get the things OP and OC mention. It seems you wanted one of those things. I did not get what OC mentioned, which is what I wanted. I don't see what is so hard to understand. Research is showing more and more that resistance training is darn near the closest thing we have to the fountain of youth. Yes, great nutrition, sleep, hydration, and avoiding the obvious detractors is important too. But damn, who knew picking some iron up and putting it down a few times could be so amazing for the body? I had chronic hand pain for about 8 months that doctors had no answer for, even after seeing a pain specialist and 2 separate hand surgeons. About 20 minutes of dumbbell exercises 2 to 4 times a week strengthened up my hands, forearms, and solved my problem completely. I didn't even do any forearm workouts, just handling the weights during other exercises was enough to build up stability in my wrist hand. I never even considered that it could be an issue, since I work a lot with my hands, and even used to do some pretty heavy lifting in my high school days. Wasn't even that long ago either. I'm still in my mid-20s. I'm 39, and it was the best decision of my life. I've worked construction for about 20 years. Found out in 2019 I had a tumor in my spinal cord. 5 neck surgeries later, and I had to relearn how to walk again. Hospital kept messing things up. After many battles with insurance, I only got about 1 year of PT, which was not near enough. I took a much-needed 1-year break from all the doctors and therapists to try and work on my new relationship with my family. I finally decided to pay a personal trainer to help me power lift and get my strength back. 6 months later, I've gotten stronger and in less pain than I've been the last 4 years. I'm able to move better, and my clothes keep shrinking. I've had on and off hand pain for 15Y, before I even had a computer or a phone. Last year, I found a few videos from a kinesiologist, and the exercises helped me tremendously. I still get pain, but if I do the exercises, it gets a lot better. Weightlifting fixed my chronic back pain some years ago. People really underestimate the power of movement. I just found a kinesiologist in my area, and after retiring from construction for 36 years, my body has been very sore. I've been seeing him once a week for 2 months, and I feel like a new person. I'm not as moody anymore because I'm not in pain. Are body weight exercises, push-ups, sufficient, or do I actually need to go to a gym? By all means, do body weight exercises. They're great. They're definitely a lot better than doing nothing, and you can do a lot of good just with body weight exercises. But they're not as good as a proper weightlifting routine. Or should I say, they're more limited and not as flexible in when it comes to adjusting them to your particular needs. When you're lifting weights, you can adjust the weight strong precisely to your current strength level. You can use a 1 kilograms weight, and you can use a 500 kilograms weight, or anything in between. Weights are suitable for everybody, from the weakest person on the planet to the elite athletes. Body weight exercises, on the other hand, are more difficult to adjust to your current strength level because your body weight is what it is. You can't change it, so they're more limited in that regard. For example, some people are too weak or too heavy to do pull-ups. Or, for some people, push-ups are too easy, so they'll have a hard time growing muscle with just push-ups. There are some workarounds to problems like these, but it's a lot more finicky than putting a desired amount of weight on a barbell in the gym. But as I said, do body weight exercises. They'll do you a lot of good. It's good, and you can stay healthy with them, but they're not great for building muscle. It's also a little harder to train legs without weights. You can do stuff like lunges or one-leg squats, but you'll never be able to simulate a weighted squat. Body weight is great. I have huge lats, just crom climbing, and some pull-ups. Look into calisthenics. Body weight overall is also a great way to strengthen your body and have better control of your muscles before going to the gym. Not an expert, but personally I do body weight stuff as my warm-up and cool down nowadays, but when I started last October, they were all I did until I gained the confidence to go for weight training. It's how I got started, so they are definitely worth doing, but you will eventually plateau. It's also unbelievably important to note that 1 day a week of resistance training is better than no resistance training. The biggest excuse given when justifying not exercising is a lack of time, but I can assure you that almost everybody has 10 minutes 1 day a week to do a couple sets of push-ups and body squats. Something is better than nothing. Do one single quality set for each muscle group in a full body routine once a week, and you'll be laughing. If you can make it 2 days a week, even better. This can be done in 10 to 20 minutes per workout. Beyond that, just get out there and move as much as you can. Not having time to do that isn't an excuse for anyone. Just agreeing with what you're saying. Not having the time isn't even a legitimate excuse for 99% of the population. It's just a lie people tell themselves because it's a lot harder to look in the mirror and say, I don't want to. I don't know a single person that turns on the shower and hops in immediately as soon as the water is on. That 30-second latency period is plenty of time to bust out a quick set of push-ups or squats. But no one wants to hear that. Anyway, that was just a small rant building off of what you said because it's such a pet peeve of mine. It also continues to burn calories when you are done, unlike typical cardio exercise. There's a huge fallacy that says in order to get lean, you need tons of cardio. Find the weight room. The biggest impact on body fat is diet, specifically how much you eat. Weight training burns calories, and added muscle which burns calories. It can also prevent muscle loss while you lose weight. Weight training should be part of your fat loss program. Very well said. Everyone should be strong, flexible, mobile, and have good cardio. Absolutely agree with you, and will add stretching to the list. I have been fairly consistent with weights and cardio, over 50 female, in the last couple of decades, but about 8 months ago started having horrible sciatica, almost debilitating. I started a web-based program through my insurance that involved stretching, and in a few weeks, it was pretty much gone. If I don't do stretching for a week, it's back. If Hinge Health is an option through your insurance, I highly recommend it for chronic pain. It's like a daily visit to a physical therapist. For those without insurance benefits, I have yet to be taught anything from a physical therapist that was not readily available for free on YouTube. Great post. I am a huge proponent of exercise. What it comes down to is, we are animals, and animals need physical activity to maintain homeostasis and a good or functional quality of life. Our current state of living is new in comparison to the thousands upon thousands of years we were living outdoors, migrating, hunting, gathering, etc. Okay, but do it safely. Don't be like me and think you can just start lifting weights. I've been doing bad form without knowing it. The biggest one for this, bench pressing. You do strong not want your arms to be in a T shape. You want to bend them at an angle like that. Not like this. This one will mess up your shoulders. Anyways, I agree. Weightlifting is great. Just be strong, safe. Look up how to do things correctly. Learn about safety. You didn't mention osteoporosis prevention. Weight-bearing exercise helps strengthen the bones as well as muscles, helping to ensure healthy bone density in the long term. Osteoporosis means severe chronic pain and disability. Drugs are not enough to make the pain go away. Prevention is the only cure. I'm all about this, and I hope people continue to get informed about it. Exercise is important, and all forms make a difference. But weightlifting seriously has an impact on how your body can function over your lifetime. My only problem is that I got to my lowest weight in October 2022, 257.6.2, by just walking every day, and it's been slowly creeping up. Just weighed myself this morning, and I'm at 268. I started going to the gym and doing tons of working out. Basically, close to every other day I do between an hour and a half of cardio/weight training in July 2023, and I'm not losing weight. I know that you can gain weight when you weight train by building muscle and losing fat, but I'm still technically obese. I feel kind of defeated this morning. Like if I'm going to keep gaining weight and being fat anyways, might as well eat what I want and not bother killing myself with exercising. BMI as a concept totally collapses when you start building muscle. Give up on it. It doesn't serve you unless you're focused only on fat loss. BMI is so annoying because it's pretty well known at this point that it's a flawed system of measurement, but they still use it to decide if I can get surgery. Insane, isn't it? The only option ends up being to get a professional body composition analysis done, which costs money you shouldn't need to spend. Well, fat is gained or lost in the kitchen primarily. Exercise may help lose weight a little bit, but you need to sort out your eating habits first. Weight training here is important here too, and very beneficial, because as you lose weight, you inevitably lose some muscle along with fat if you don't train. So weight training helps you maintain your muscle. And as I said in the OP, muscles are involved in the metabolism too, so more muscle helps with weight management. Muscle weighs more than fat. Is your body composition changing? Do you feel stronger, better overall? I got a body scan and I am seeing slightly less fat overall, muscle gaining in arms and legs, which I've been focusing on, but frustratingly slightly more belly fat. Not sure how to get rid of these damn love handles and belly besides starving myself. Suffer or suffer. That's the root of everything. Yes. But it's suffer now for 1 to 3 hours per week willingly on your own terms, or suffer 24/7 for the last 20 to 30 years of your life. Weight training isn't all that much suffering either. It's 30 seconds of mild discomfort, followed by a few minutes of rest, repeated 10 to 15 times per training session. Don't all of your pro arguments besides the muscle mass rather point to any cardio-intensive sport rather than weightlifting? The biggest guys at my gym usually completely neglected cardio. No. People are weak. Cardio doesn't build strength. Of course, cardio is another dimension of health that shouldn't be neglected, and everybody should by all means do some cardio, but that's beyond the point of this post. Everybody knows they should do cardio. It's the default form of exercise everybody talks about when they're talking about the importance of exercise. Benefits of weightlifting are far less known, and the whole thing is often grossly misunderstood, hence this post. Take a look at anyone who does a cardio-intensive sport. They automatically build the necessary muscles while doing the sport and get way better at cardio than weightlifters. I have to admit that depending on the sport, some muscle groups are neglected. A soccer player has almost no upper body muscles, but very strong legs and good cardio. I do weightlifting and use my bicycle as a transportation vehicle everywhere. For me personally, weightlifting does not help me get upstairs at all, while biking clearly does. What I love is that my back pain due to bad posture while sitting in front of a PC is completely gone now because of deadlifts. Do you think high-level athletes in cardio-intensive sports don't lift weights? Because that is simply not the case. Of course they do, with a special training plan made for them by experts. But we're still talking about doing sports as a hobby for health reasons. Most soccer players I know don't lift. Having sore legs from leg day isn't helpful at all when you have soccer training 2 to 3 times a week and at least 1 game per week. Facts. No printer. I did resistance training and immediately started feeling worse all the time, as well as acutely upset whenever I was doing the workout. Well, that's your psychological problem, not a weight training problem. You said everybody,